sugar and cream.
Right. Oh, I
Um,
remember that one.
yeah.
I remember you ripping it out when we were on a call. I was like, I don't like the way we're doing this strep. And you were like, I'll never forget your face. You were like, you just started ripping it out. I was like, oh man. I forget sometimes how intimidating I am. So I also have done 3 of these.
Okay.
I actually have a 4th one hiding somewhere that I decided whatever the yarn that I was using wasn't the right yarn. So this is this is the one I'm working on right now. It only has one sleeve, one tie.
What colors are those?
This is
Um,
the Noro Natsumeki, it's called. Natsumeki. This is how much I have
okay.
left of the first ball. Um,
I really like how it stripes on your
yes,
pattern.
I like that one. And then this one is the okay, don't laugh. This is the
Okay.
yukata. Also only has one. I'm done.
But you really only have like 2/3 of two.
I know. This one is done, but it hasn't doesn't have an edge. And this one I did Noro for all of them. So this is I think this Noro is called
You wear them.
Rika. Rika? I haven't worn one yet, but I could maybe wear this one.
We kind of are matching with our black
Oh,
t-shirts.
okay. I definitely would have to wear something under it.
Dominique who tested it sent us photos, and she was wearing like a dress underneath hers,
She
and I thought it looked
was.
really cute.
Well, maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll try putting it ties.
It looks nice.
I got the coverage. I need a dart though.
Or just no, just
I
the
need the
decreases.
that's right. I need the gathers. I need the edge
Yeah,
gather.
yeah. Especially once you put the border on it, I think it really does like make it fit well in this part, which I
So
feel like is always a hard place.
I think I did something wrong with this one. Well, I think we did figure out that I did something wrong with this one because my flower is upside down.
I guess you probably just started the first row of the next section. Is that the bib?
Yeah, I think we figured
Yeah.
out I went on to the bib section. I did the wrong rows
They also
first on this one.
you can kind of pick which way you want to do it because like this one I did, it's very like straight up and down, but then this one's kind of hard to see. But then this one is more like an angle, so it kind of just depends
Yeah,
which
the
part.
the other ones that I did, the flower is like at a little angle, but this one's fully upside down. So this one is probably not the ideal candidate. But I'm going to leave it on. It's kind of warm. I see why they didn't want, because when I reached out to Knitting Fever and I said I had done this in this particular yarn that they had given me, which I think is called Rika, or something like that. And they were like, "Oh no, no, no! Don't do that with that yarn. We want you to do it with this other yarn called Natsumeki." And so because it has more silk. And at the time, I was like, "All right, whatever." But now I get it, like so many other things.
Well, if you start to feel faint, we can feel free to take it off.
It's been so hot. So yeah, and then let's see. Okay, so this is the. I feel like mine is more plain and basic than yours. This is my version,
Right, with the
which
granny
just
square
has
in
the
the
little
center.
granny square, and then Jacqueline's version has the cute little flower.
I like both though, especially if you have like a really cool variegated yarn or even something that was like a gradient. I think that would look really good with the granny square.
I like the flower better. Hi, Jenny. I have I was like, nobody's gonna want to make the one without the flour, but a lot of our testers did, so I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
think
I
it's a
feel
good mix.
validated. Definitely feel validated. Where's my live video over here? So I'm live. I'm gonna be working on my halter top overhead, and if you want to see what my hands are doing, you can go find my YouTube of this same live, and I'm about to switch my view over to the other way and work on this for a little while. I think this is the hook I'm using. Yes. Hi. Let's see if I can make some progress.
Yeah, I mean it works up really fast. I got all of this done in like one day.
Yeah, I haven't really been tracking my time for like how long it's taking me to do it, but it's not long at all. It should, I don't know if we could call it the 6 hour halter.
No, this was 6 hours, so it's
Yeah,
not.
probably 6 hours is not enough time. 6 days is, you know, definitely plenty of time to make this halter top, I think.
I think so.
Okay, let me just make sure I'm following along on TikTok over here. Oh, we got lots of comments. Andrew says they're cute. Thank you for the gifts, Andrew. Appreciate it. So how'd your week wind up or wind down or wind over or whatever it did?
It was good. I'm trying to think what I did. Oh, Tuesday night I got dinner with some friends. And then on Wednesdays, I started going to the senior center ping pong club. And just to like play ping pong with a bunch of random people.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and then there's a metro stop that I take from my apartment to get all the way over there. And so it's a good excuse to sit and crochet for like 20 minutes. So that's my new little Wednesday routine.
Cool.
Yeah. How was your week?
Busy. I went to I don't know if I really want to share this, but I mean, my skin is still red because I did microneedling the other day.
Oh,
cool. On Wednesday. So I have to drive to Norfolk to do that. And I go up there every couple of weeks and to get my nails done and stuff. So I went up there and I had my microneedling and a bunch of other stuff that I don't even know what they do to my face, but it hurts. Um, and I didn't get my nails done because I'm giving my nails a break. So that's a challenge because my nails are super weak now. Like, I like them to look nice on my videos and they don't look nice and they're just like all weak. So, that's all. I'm working.
You have tattoos, right?
What's that?
You have tattoos?
Yeah, I have a tattoo on each wrist of my kids' names and I have a tattoo on my back.
Do you think that hurts more or the microneedling?
I think a tattoo hurts more than microneedling.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I've seen people do microneedling and it seems like it's pretty good for your skin. But yeah, it does look a little painful.
I mean, I am really happy with what it's doing for my skin.
Nice.
It just hurts. And I didn't really ask for it. I was like, last May, right before my birthday, I was like, I'm gonna go just get something done to my face, like just to look better and feel better. And I was thinking I would just like get a little Botox on this 11 here or like something like that. And when I went in and talked to the lady, or when I went in to visit the place, the owner almost hit me with her Jeep. And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I almost hit you." And I was like oblivious. I didn't even notice. And so I was like, "Oh, I was just going into this place to get my, get some Botox." And she was like, "Oh, no, 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 no." She's like, "I'm the owner over there. You don't need that. You don't need Botox. You need this, you need this, you need this." And she signed me up, and I went, and she like just did a bunch of stuff and didn't charge me the first time for whatever she did. So that's how
Wow.
this all happened.
That's so serendipitous that she almost hit you with her
I
car.
know. I was like, and I didn't
You're
even
so lucky.
notice. So it was just like, "Oh, okay. You almost hit me. Well, that's bad." I didn't notice,
That's
so I forgive you. It's okay.
yeah. You're like, I'll find a way to get over it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Judy. Yeah, I'm definitely happy with it. Um, but yeah, that was my highlight of my week, I guess.
Nice.
It's going to Norfolk for face face stuff. Usually it's hair and nails, but this time it was microneedling.
Norfolk is in Virginia.
Yeah, it's like the
Okay.
closest, city to where I live.
After after I kept assuming you lived in Florida, I'm getting
You thought I
up
was
on
in
my geo.
Florida.
I don't want to be wrong anymore.
No, I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah, I was also super confused when you went to H&H and you told me you were going to drive. And I was like, wow, that's such a long drive from Florida. I don't think I ever said anything out loud, but I was like, wow, she's driving really far.
It was a really far way. It still was really far. It took me 3 days to get there and 3 days to get back. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep driving there, but I hate flying. So
Really?
yeah, I really dislike flying, and I enjoy driving. I like the drive between here and Chicago, and I like driving through Kentucky and West Virginia. It's so pretty. And Indiana, I just enjoy it. So, and then this year I stopped at a different yarn store every day on my way there and back. So I visited a bunch of yarn stores this summer, and I have a whole basket of hand dyed yarn that I bought on that trip, and on different, just over the summer on those different trips. I just, I don't know. I just find it fun to go visit uh, different yarn stores when I'm out and about in different
Yeah.
places, even though a lot of them carry, like a lot of the same similar stuff. I still enjoy going, and I try when I do go to like always check out like the local dyers that sell in the store, and I look for anything that's just unusual that you don't see like everywhere.
Yeah. Or just like discontinued colors or.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of those stores are supplied by Knitting Fever, who I have a relationship with, so it's like, you know,
Yeah,
it's
you're,
like, oh,
you're really
okay, I
getting all your
recognize
yarn.
this, I recognize this. But you know, find I usually find plenty to spend money on.
Yeah, not a problem.
Absolutely not. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I did to get to H&H. And then I also went to Pam Grice's conference this summer, the Crochetpreneur conference.
Did
And
you drive to that too?
I did not drive to Colorado. I thought about it.
Yeah, that I know is a long drive because you have
Yeah.
to pass Texas.
No, I had to fly to get there. So Judy Smith says that would be my dream vacay, going to new yarn stores every day. It was really fun. It was really fun. And the one place I went to, I had been driving a really long time just to get, to that one place. Like, I don't know, it was the first leg of my trip and it might have been 8 hours. And I was like, I was just on a mission to get there before they closed for the day. And and then when I got there, there were like a bunch of people just sitting around knitting socks. And I
Oh,
just,
that's so
yeah, I
cute.
just like walked around the store, and then I sat down. I just, sat there and was like, what's everybody working on? What are you working on? What are you working on? Like that whole thing. And it was fun.
I love doing that.
Yeah.
I recently joined, well, not recently, it's been like 8 months now. Um, there's a group in LA called Fiber Friends where we
Oh,
meet up
okay.
once a month and just crochet in the park. And it's so wholesome because to just like be around a bunch of people who all know what you're working on,
Yeah.
and you can like talk about all the little details of what you love in a pattern. And yeah,
That's
we're gonna
cool.
go to the Knitting Tree in LA, which is like a pretty popular yarn store out here.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if you've seen like those emotional support chickens.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're the ones who kind of like revitalize that pattern.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, and there's a brewery behind the store too, so we're gonna go buy some yarn and hang out.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I love beer.
What's what kinds of beers do you like?
I mean, I like IPA, but I don't actually drink alcohol anymore. So I just recently discovered non-alcoholic IPA, a non-alcoholic IPA that I thought was really delicious. And I was out somewhere with friends, and it was like a beer garden, and I was like, "Oh, I miss beer." And they were like, "Oh, we have this non-alcoholic." I'm like, "Nah." They were like, "No, this one's actually really good." And it was. So
Did it actually taste like beer?
it
And
did. At least to
wow.
me. Like, I don't drink a lot of beer anymore, but to me, it tasted very delicious and definitely
Nice.
like beer. I don't know. Something happens. What am I doing on the side extension row where I end up with not the right number of stitches? What did I do? Did I skip too many? I don't think I did. Maybe it's how I'm doing this single crochet, 3 together. Because this happened on the other side too. I get to a certain point where it's like now I don't have the right number of stitches, but it should be a multiple it should be right every time. I must have done something.
I think you're right though. Like I'm like looking at it now. It got to a point where I was kind of just winging it.
Well, nobody really said anything. Maybe people were
Yeah.
just making adjustments as they were going, but that's like the tranquility stripe is supposed to work out right every time. But you have to, in order for it to work, on row 7, you have to have a multiple of 3 plus 1, and then it'll work. So let me see what I have here.
Oh, okay. Cause yeah, I'm looking at mine now, and on my row 2, the very every so often I ended up with 3 double crochets at the end, but then most of them it's 2 double crochets at the end. So I feel like I did something to just kind of like cheat it.
Yeah, you have to do two double crochet on the end of row 2, and then on row 3 you just do the chain 3 and then 3 double crochet into the space.
But then on row 3, does that chain 3 count as a stitch?
It does.
Okay. This will make sense to everybody when the pattern goes out.
Are you not counting the chain 3?
I think I was, but I was just
Yeah.
wondering if maybe that's why your numbers were off, if you weren't.
I think it has to do with the decreases. I think we decreased by 3, we decreased by 3, or maybe I'm not doing the decreases properly. But I end up with 27. Is that, I'm looking around for my calculator and it's on my phone, which I'm talking to you on. Is that a multiple of 3 plus 1?
No, 27 is just a multiple of 3.
27 is a multiple of 3, so I'm 1 short. So that makes sense. But okay. I'm just only decreasing 2, I guess, this time. Oh, wait. Well, I threw myself way off. Yeah, right now in my, so I just happen to be like invested right now in this particular stripe. Like basically what we're doing on this part of the shirt is the tranquility stripe. So that's the 6-day kid blanket stripe that just goes back and forth with no chevron. And I'm doing a bunch of different variations of it in my group that I have like patterns and ideas planned for. So this is the one we did last night. It's the tranquility on the bias. So I think I'm just saying that because that's why I'm like super familiar with the math of the stitches at the moment.
Yeah. That's really cool, though. I like the shape of that.
Thank you.
What are you going to do with it?
I think, like, to me, I think this would make a great, like, scarf or stole or something like that with really beautiful yarn, like maybe some Noro. Um, and then I'm trying to do more patterns for beautiful hand dyed yarns and getting away from, more of the big box. But this is something else I'm doing with it, which is like more of an asymmetrical like idea for.
Oh, that's really pretty too.
Is
that Noro?
This is not Noro. This is from a store called Toad Hollow in New Jersey. It's a hand dyed. It's a hand dyed yarn company, Toad Hollow, and one of my I call them super fans because they are super fans. And one day I was like, I call you guys my super fans, and they were like, we are your super fans. So I can say that. It's not an ego thing. They really are my super fans, but they're a great group of people that come to my meetings in my membership community. But one of the ladies lives near this yarn store, and she was talking about the yarn that she bought there one day. And of course, I was like completely enabled, and I ended up going on there and spending a bunch of money on that. So that yarn came from there. It's from Toad Hollow in New Jersey, and it's called Vintage Hydrangea.
That really is your color.
Yeah.
You're saying like that light green.
Yeah, I like green and pink together. I don't know where that came from. They had a whole series of like garden inspired yarns, and she had brought one of those mini skein kits to the meeting, And I was like, "Ooh, I have to have that." And then by the time I went to get it, it was gone. And so the mini skeins were gone. And so I ended up with full skeins of like 6 colors of this
You had to,
yarn
right?
collection. I absolutely had to. And they were like, like, I don't know, they were like $30 each or something. They were a lot of money, but they're gorgeous. And then that vintage hydrangea, I bought that as well. It had nothing to do with anything. I just saw it on there and I bought it. So that's what I did.
I'm actually working on a scarf pattern too right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Here, let me go grab it.
Yeah, I want to see it.
So I can't. I originally wanted to do it as a crochet. Well, okay, I'll show you the knitting one first because the knitting one looks better. It's like worked in the round, and then it's supposed to look like just one big cable. Wait. It gets twisted, but I know it works.
I'm looking at you on the computer because I can see that better.
Let's see. Okay, there we go. So
I have to wait for you to hold it up on the computer. It's worked in the round and it's one big cable.
Yeah. So like what happened? I like work some rows as like one big tube, and then I split it off and work two little tubes, and then they get like twisted.
Well, that is really clever.
Yeah. And I wanted to do it as a crochet pattern first because this is knit, obviously.
Yeah.
But the thing with crochet is that because your rounds, like the beginning keeps shifting it like shifts over by one stitch a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think it looks as clean.
Hold on, I'm going to look at it on my screen. Maybe try a different stitch. Try double crochet.
Yeah, or maybe I need to make it bigger. Because, yeah, this one just looks so much better.
You know what? It looks better and it looks cleaner. And it's very clever, and I love designs like that. Like that's why I love working with you, because you're very clever, and I like that. I like cleverly constructed things that have like a different way that they're put together, and because I don't usually ever design anything that's like in different pieces and then sewn together.
I hate sewing things together.
I mean, I'm not against sewing things together, but for me, like I love the three-dimensional aspect of creating with yarn, where you can create a three-dimensional object, like that intersects with itself or twists around itself. So, yeah, I mean, the knitted one does look cleaner, but it also, like, it's so clean. If you just looked at that, you might just think it's a big cable. You might not really know that it's like this cleverly done thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I guess the nice thing about this versus an actual cable, is that it's reversible.
Yes.
Yeah, cables are just rows on the back.
I think it's really cool. It's definitely a great idea. I'm looking forward to seeing what else you do with that.
I really want it to work for crochet more than knitting, because knitting already gets a lot of fun cable things.
True. What about Tunisian crochet?
Oh, I need to learn more about Tunisian crochet. I can only do like the simple stitch and maybe like one or two other stitches, but like in the round or anything like that, I don't know. Do you do a lot of Tunisian?
No.
Oh.
I started learning it at one point, and I have all the needles, all the hooks. I started learning it, and before the 6 Day Kid blanket went viral, I used to knit and crochet all kinds of different things. And I was starting to learn Tunisian, and then my pattern went viral, and it's like ever since then, it's just been like very singular focus, where I've just been doing 6 day stuff, and that's it. And one day I'll run out of 6 day crochet ideas, and then I'll go back to doing that other stuff, and maybe I'll learn Tunisian then.
So you don't really miss doing non 6 day patterns?
Not really. Sometimes I get the feeling of like I'd like to knit, and I have a couple knitting projects. Like I have one in my bedstand for when I can't sleep, just like a very monotonous hat in the round. Um,
Oh, that's a good one.
and it's been in there for a couple of years, and I just pull it out when I can't sleep, and I work on it for a little bit until I get tired. And then I have there's a knitting pattern that I really like that I've made over and over and over again. And one of the reasons I really like it is because it's very cleverly constructed, and it's almost completely seamless. And it's called the Wonderful Wallaby, and it's like a crochet, basically like a crochet or a knitted hoodie sweatshirt with a pocket in the front. And
Okay, I
it
think
has
I've
a,
seen that.
yeah, it has a hood. It was a viral pattern before there were viral patterns. It was like we're going back to the days of the internet knit list, and I was pregnant with my daughter at that time, so you probably weren't even born yet, because I think you're the same age as her.
Yeah.
So we're going back that far, but like I've made so many of them, um and it's a good project for like when I first opened my membership community, I did like a progression of knitting classes. I did like crocheters learn to knit, and I taught people how to knit in the round and make this little hat. And then somebody said, "Well, I want to do socks." So then I did a sock knitting class, and then like the next development of that would be like to knit this wonderful wallaby sweater, because it's all done in the round, and it's all like it starts at the bottom and it's done in the round, and you attach this pocket and you keep going in the round, and then you do the sleeves separately and you connect them in the round, and when you're all done you just have just this little like 8 stitches to Kitchener together under the sleeve and the armpit, and then the seam at the top of the hood, and that's it. And
Oh, that's
it's
so easy.
it's like really practical. The pattern comes in like every single size, from size 2 all the way up to like size 40 for men, and it's like completely adaptable and resizable, and you can make them, for just about anybody. Like who wouldn't wear a sweatshirt?
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, the Wonderful Wallaby. I think they might have sold their business to some, or passed it on to somebody else, because I just got an updated version of it on Ravelry the other day. And I actually reached out um, to ask about doing like tutorials for them, because I did some in my membership last year, and I accidentally, like, I have to, in order to load them into my membership, I have to put them on YouTube and make them unlisted, and then I embed them into my Mighty Network. But one of them must not have been unlisted, and I had like people emailing me asking me about it, and I was like, oops, that's not supposed to be out there.
Oh no.
I had permission to do the class in my membership, but I didn't have permission to do a public facing thing. But
Yeah.
so we did them in my membership a couple of years ago, and the one lady that did it just really loved it. She had never made a sweater for herself. She really wasn't sure it was going to fit. She was very
Oh,
skeptical, and when we were done, she was like, "I love this. It's like the best thing I've ever made." So,
that's That's such a good testament to like the quality and like timelessness of this pattern.
Oh yeah.
Because yeah, it says this was originally published in 1983.
Oh wow, even before I was even knitting.
Yeah. Wow. Before I was born.
I mean, so I remember way back when the internet was new, and my husband was in at my husband at the time was in graduate school at the Naval Post Grad School, and we had to get a computer for him to do that, and it was, we had that AOL CD that came in the mail, and it was internet enabled, and he was like, now we can get on the internet. And so we did. So he got on the, because he had to for his school, he had to be on the internet. And I don't really remember why he needed internet, but anyways, we had it and we got on it, and he was like, we're on the World Wide Web. And I was like, well, what is it? Now what do I do? And we didn't even know what to do. Like once we got there, and he's like, well, you have to have this URL to look up different places. And I was like, well, I don't know anyone's URL. And so we were looking up things like, there was like a webcam, a live webcam, like at the Eiffel Tower. And so we were looking that up, stuff like that. And then I had email, but I was like, well, who do I know with email that I can email them? Like it was so ridiculous. And everybody was getting email, and we were emailing each other. And then I found out about this internet knit list, it was called, and it was basically an email list, off of somebody's list serve at some college that they worked at. And there were, like, I don't know, 20,000 or so people on this knit list, and it was growing every day. And it was just basically people emailing, sending emails every day talking about what they were knitting, and different patterns that they were working on and stuff like that. And so that wonderful wallaby was one of the patterns that, like, made its way through the knit list a bunch of times. And it was even in their FAQ, like, WW means wonderful wallaby. It's a pattern by Carol Anderson, da, 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 for a sweatshirt, blah, blah, blah. Because, somebody would mention it, and then there would be like 800 emails saying, what's wonderful wallaby? So it was like in their FAQ. That's where I learned
and
about
they
it.
would just like reply all to everyone. Like,
yes. It was a hot mess, girl. It was a hot mess. Let me tell you, it was a hot mess.
That would be like getting an email every time someone commented on Instagram.
Exactly.
Like, not just your Instagram, but just any Instagram.
And then the reply all. So, part of the FAQ was, listen, if you're going to reply to somebody's message, cut and paste the relevant part of their email into your response, because then you could get onto digest mode, for those of us who didn't want to get the email every time somebody emailed it. So then you would get a digest, and there were so many emails in the digest, you would get sometimes 3 or 4 digests a day. And
oh my gosh,
there was a lot. And so then some Nimrod would reply all to the digest, and then you'd have an email that was replied to the digest and have the entire digest.
And then and then you get all the people replying all being like, please don't reply all.
Exactly. Exactly. That was at least 50% of the knit list.
Oh my god.
But I learned,
the crochet community has had drama for years.
Oh yeah.
Just start with TikTok.
Exactly. It would be stuff like that. But yeah, I would hear about something on the knit list, and then I would want to make it, and that was one of those early things. I didn't even know you could knit socks. So I was like, "Oh, people knit socks. What?" And I used to.
I really want to get into making socks, but I know I don't have the attention span for it. But
Well,
I think that's gonna be a big trend because like the capri pants and those like really short, like almost gaucho pants are in style right now.
oh
So I think
really?
it's gonna be all about the fun socks.
Huh.
But yeah, I don't think I can do it.
Well, it's not as monotonous as you think. It's like, and well, it's like you there are just enough. It would be like making a sweater, but a smaller version of making a sweater. There are
But
monotonous
just the sleeves.
there's monotonous parts, and then there's interesting parts. There's like, first there's the ribbing,
Mm-hmm.
and that has its own rhythm, and then depending on how long you make the leg of the sock, it might just be nothing but stockinette for a long time. And then you do the heel, and that's like a lot of concentrating and thinking and remembering and complicated stuff. Um, and then it goes back to being just like the foot for a while where it's monotonous. And then, yeah, so it's like a mix, it's a back and forth. Um, I think the dangerous thing about making socks is it's fun, it's fun to make one, but then you have to turn around and make the other one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, what you were describing, but it's the second one that always gets me.
yeah. So what I did in my and I had a friend in that class who took that class who has made a lot of socks, and she gave us a lot of pointers, and one of them was, and I do this now. So if you're going to knit a sock, have two sets of sock needles, and separate the yarn into two halves, and then do your cast on and your ribbing on one, and then do your cast on and your ribbing on the other one, and then do your then do your
So it's kind of like two at a time.
yeah. Now
Separate.
there's a way to do it two at a time. People do get those like big loops, and then they do two socks at a time. I don't enjoy making this little sock and having all these wires all over the place.
Yeah.
I like the little wooden um double pointed needles. Like, I like the way they fit in my hand. I don't mind doing, like, I like doing four needles. Some people, they get laddering, or they don't like working with a whole bunch of needles. They want to use circulars, and I get that. It's all preference. But I
For
enjoy.
the small tubes, I definitely like the double pointed needles better.
Yeah, yeah. I prefer double pointed needles to make socks with, and so that's what I use. But people use, they'll use a big circular and like fold it around, or they
Yeah,
make
I
those
don't like
smaller
that.
circulars now, and I could never really I don't really enjoy those.
You got a universe from Raquel.
I got a
It
universe for.
already went away. I think that's a gift.
Oh wow, thank you. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Did I really?
Yeah, I'm only like half aware of everything that's happening.
How did I miss that? Well, thank you so much. That's incredible. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of comments. I think there's like six people here counting us. Um Andrew's here, so I think Andrew is like just hitting the screen for us, which is really nice.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, so everyone make sure you follow Jacqofyarns if you're not already following her.
many rows have you gotten done?
Not very many because I've been yakking a lot. Putting that gift of gab to good use.
I've got.
I ended up one short again.
Oh no. I got 3 done.
Oh wow. What's
Or
like
2 and 2/3.
you're on the bib section, right?
I'm on the side body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have no excuse. I'm on the extension. I'm down to like, 12 stitches, 14 stitches. I should be further along. But I'm not.
Yeah, I was gonna be further along, but then I had a question for you in the pattern, and I stopped and put it away and waited for you.
What? Oh my
It was on
gosh.
the one where I remember I was asking if we needed to skip the first space.
Yes, I'm so glad you
That
caught
row.
that. I caught something else too last night when I was working on it. I just went in and changed it. I think somebody had brought it up too. Also, I did your when I went to bed last night, I was like, the first thing I'm gonna do tomorrow is tech edit her pattern. So I did that for
I
you.
saw that. Yeah, so we can get this granny square out here. I can take pictures after we get off of this, and then I can finally get that pattern out there.
Yes. Do you have one there? Can you hold it up? Oh well, I'm wearing it. Yeah, we're talking about this little granny square right here that Jacqueline created, and she did. It's really actually very clever. Um, you're a very clever designer. But yeah, it has 5 petals and 4 sides. So she did all math that all out. And it totally makes sense too that you turn it, because I was thinking about that, like, oh, how do you get it to only have make sure the right side is out? But yeah, you're turning it every time. So I missed that when I did it. When I did the pattern, I missed that it was that you turned it. But yeah, so this little square right here, I think is just really clever and would be useful for a lot of, I think a lot of people would want to make this little square.
Yeah,
so
just like to have it as a little coaster. That's what I have for my coasters at my desk, or just the first drafts of the pattern when I was making it.
Yeah, it's really, really sweet. It's a really sweet little square. So I think our next project should be a bag based off of this design with the square, with the flower squares.
Going around your neck, it's the handles, right?
Yeah. And then
I guess you got a good. So it'd be like this.
It would be like that. And then you would have flower squares on the sides to join the 2 sides together in rows.
We would have to figure out how to join them without sewing.
Yes, we would, because nobody wants to sew granny squares together. How did you do it in your Graglan pattern?
You can do it 2 ways actually. They're both the join as you go, where you like slip stitch into the chain spool. But there's instructions for both, like if you wanted to do one at a time, or where you like make each granny square individually, and then on the last row you do the slip stitches.
Okay.
Or you can do like a whole row at a time, where you make all of them up until the second to last row, and then you do the last row like all together.
Okay. Wow, you gave all those options in that pattern?
Yeah, it's a very detailed pattern. I don't know if I'm ever going to do that again.
How much did you charge for it?
$7.75 USD.
Wow.
And I think it's more detailed than some patterns that I've paid $7 for
I
it.
think you should charge more than that because I think I charged $12.95 for my. That is my most expensive pattern. Is the 6-day hexagon cardigan, but I gave a lot of different options. I didn't just give one option. So you're giving people a lot of different options and techniques. Like those are three
Yeah,
techniques that you shared in that pattern. So yeah, I think you could charge more.
that'll be my campaign. Buy it now. Betty said that I need to increase the price. So
Yeah.
buy it now before I
You
do.
can definitely put it on me. You can just definitely say like the crochet mama said.
Yeah, my mom said I had to raise my prices.
Exactly. Oh, we missed something. Outlaw Crochet said, I'm always in search of groups like that here in Philadelphia, Fiber Friends. If you can't find a crochet group to be part of, you can always start one.
That's true.
Yeah, and I encourage you to do it.
That's honestly how this group that I joined got started. The person who started organizing it just, I think, posted on it, like created an account, started posting about it on Instagram. And then I had heard of it because one of my testers started posting about it. And then it was a lot of trust that people would show up the first time we met. But I think we had like 6 or 8 people who came, and now there's probably 6 or 8 people who consistently show up, and then like 4 to 10 more people that will kind of trickle in and out. So
that's
I think
cool.
there's definitely demand out there.
Yes. There is. People want community and need community. Yeah, I think our math is a little off here on this, but
No one said anything yet.
no one said anything. Maybe they were afraid to, because I think I'm intimidating sometimes.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I think I'm like a mama bear, like I'm mostly like sweet, big, soft and fuzzy, and you know, then like 10% ready to rip your throat out. We're supposed to have 6 here, right? Or is it 8?
Wait, it's 8.
Oh, wah.
You went too far.
I went too far.
It was 6 at one point.
It was 6 at one point. Okay. So let me see. What do I have here? 1.
Andrew agrees you're very... and then there's this emoji. So I think that means you're very mama bear.
4. Oh, yeah. How's your weather out there?
It's really cloudy today.
Is it?
Yeah. I think the high was 81. But hopefully it'll clear up for tomorrow and Sunday.
We're having a big thunderstorm right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Is there a hurricane coming, or it's just summer weather?
No, it's just summer weather, I think. I don't think we're getting any hurricanes. It's been so hot. I mean, not in the immediate.
That's
I
good.
don't believe. I hope not. I haven't really been paying attention, I guess. I was thinking about going for a walk on the beach, and it was like, it got all dark, and it was like, nope, you're not doing that right now.
Is it one of those things where if you just wait 5 minutes, it'll change? Or
I mean, sometimes it has been like that here lately. There was one day where it was like, it was rainy, it was really nasty, it was like storming, and it was really dark. It was like one of those, let me put a roast in the crock pot kind of days. Like, I just want to eat soup and crochet, and binge TV. And then
that's a good one.
all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the sun came out. It all went away and the sun came out. And I live in like a vacation, like a tourist area, right? So most of the houses in my neighborhood are like, people are here on their vacation. And everybody went outside the second the sun came out. It was like every single person
Wow.
that was here. And I had to drive down to the post office, and I was like, I kept almost hitting, like, everybody was out, like, jogging, riding their bike, on their scooter. It was like, yay, we're on vacation, the sun's out, let's hurry up and go to the beach while the getting's good, and that was weird. It was like everybody went outside.
Yeah, that's probably really jarring, especially if you're used to seeing nobody around you.
It was, well, I mean, it's hard to know how many people are here when it's like that, because,
Yes.
that was a surprise to see that many people. What do you got planned to do this weekend?
Oh, we got a busy weekend. Um, Tomorrow I'm hanging out with some friends. We've seen like a lot of things on TikTok that are in downtown LA basically, and they're all really close to each other. And
Oh,
so we're like, we just need to pick a day and get all these things done at once.
okay.
And so we're gonna do that tomorrow.
Cool.
And then
Hi, Rachel A. Crochets.
hi Rachel.
Thank you for the gift. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Um, what else are we gonna do? Oh, and then on Sunday, I have a friend who's a yoga teacher, and she does these free classes on the beach. Which,
Oh, yoga on the beach.
yeah.
What kind of yoga do you practice?
Um, I've I mostly do like the vinyasa in like a heated studio. It's
Okay.
like a vibe. But when I'm tired, they also have a yin class that I really like.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
I was going to smack
The
you.
one you do is like even more relaxed than yin, but I forgot the name.
There's a style of yoga called restorative yoga, and
Restore.
yin, a lot of people get like equate yin and restorative yoga, but restorative yoga is really more about like relaxing and meditating and in in a supported posture. But yin is where you hold postures for a longer time and you stretch the connective tissue or strengthen the connective tissue. They're different. I've done different trainings on them. You have a funny look on
So
your
it's like
face.
deeper than your muscles. It's
Yes.
like that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Leia.
What's up, Aaliyah? How you doing? Hey, hey, she said. What have you been doing, Aaliyah? Have you been designing? Thought I saw you were working on something new. I know she's doing a 6 day star blanket crochet along in a couple weeks because in her Discord community.
Oh,
I
cool.
think it's her Discord community because I'm supposed to be joining. Um, I'm gonna join for the kickoff on the kickoff day, day one, whatever. I don't know
Oh,
all
that'll
the
be really
details yet.
cool.
I just know the time.
Gearing up, got the crochet along.
Well, make sure you tag me on any like posts you do about it so I can share it for you. See, what's intimidating about that?
What? Tagging you?
Tag me so I can
Oh.
share for you.
Yeah. You're so scary.
I know, right?
I'm taking a break. I read somewhere, because I'm using some cotton yarns on this one, that cotton is actually harder on your hands because it doesn't stretch as much as a wool or like other fibers. So it, I guess because like you have to pull it more taut to get the right tension.
I do not enjoy working with cotton for that reason. It doesn't have the stretch and the give. I didn't know it was harder on your hands. I knew it was harder on my hands, but I didn't know that was like a universally accepted um, idea was that cotton is harder on your hands. I'm not surprised though.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an account on here that I follow them, but I only get their videos every once in a while. That she like kind of brands herself as a knitting and crochet physical therapist.
Okay.
And so she talks about like the different ways that it like strains on your hand, and that's where she was explaining like the actual like I guess physics behind the fiber and the twist and why it's harder on your hands versus wool.
That's interesting. I
Yeah.
believe it. How many rows did I do over here? Ah!
Oh no.
I missed a row of double crochet right there.
Did you?
I did. I only have one row of double crochet right there. Those are the clusters.
Oh, they're like really tall double crochets though.
I'm not frogging it. I just noticed
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
I never would have noticed that, but I was just counting to see how many rows I had done because I'm on the other side.
So you just have to remember to only do one row of double crochets on the other side.
I guess.
Yeah. Oh, Leia says she's super excited for this collab. It's so cute.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. We're really excited too. We've been working on it since March of last year.
Wow, has it really been that long? It started out as a dress, and somebody was asking me if I had a skirt pattern because they wanted to wear a skirt with it. And I was like, oh no. Oh shit. Sorry. I just ripped out, like, I don't know, 6. I think I'm done. I just ripped out a bunch of mine.
You might get to do your second row of double crochets yet.
I know. Ah. Now I ripped a bunch of this one that I was wearing.
So now you have 3 tops with 1 tie each.
Yep. Well, this one I've done the edge round on.
Oh, okay.
So it actually has an edge, but I just ripped a bunch of it out because I was sitting on it.
Oh no.
I still have to do the little what did you call it? You called it something in one of your videos. This little baby shell, I think you called it. Baby shell edge.
Yeah. Is that what I called it? That sounds right. Sounds like something I would say.
Yep. That's what I remember.
I think, yeah, I saw someone made a TikTok about how they had this really nice like handkerchief that looked like this, and it was a really nice detail, but the way that the person had made it was they just like whip stitched around the edge basically, and
Oh.
it created like a very tiny scallop detail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I really liked how it looked, and so I feel like this kind of gets that same effect because it's very subtle.
Yeah, it's cute. I remember when we were working on it, I was like, I don't know, do we really want to do scallops? And you had a vision, so I was like, okay, give it a shot and let's see how it turned out. And I really like it. I like the
Well, you kind of
subtlety
reeled
of
me
it.
in too because I had. You remember I had also found that one border on Pinterest that was like little 5-petal flowers all the way
Oh
around.
yeah, I do
And
remember that.
and you're like, I don't know about that one. Like, keep thinking about it.
Did I say let's do something more subtle?
I think no, you didn't have to say all that. I think you were just like, just keep thinking about it and let me know what you decide to do.
I don't want to squash your creativity, but I'm glad we didn't do little
Understood.
flowers all the way around. I think just the one little flower as a focal point
that's more than enough.
is great. I'm really happy about what we created together. I'm excited to do more collabs. I'm excited for this to finally drop. I hope everybody buys it and makes it. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
And then we didn't even say we're gonna do our make along next month. We're gonna do a
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, is that official?
It drops next Friday. I am gonna know for sure about. You mean it's not official with the other collaborator yet, but I think it's
either way.
I think it's a done deal. Yeah. We can still do.
The pattern drops on the 26th, by the way, not next Friday. We have a little.
Isn't next Friday the 26th?
No, it's the 19th.
Oh, okay, good. Wow, we have 2 more weeks.
Yeah, you have time to make all your extra
Oh, what a relief. Oh my goodness. Wow. I think I put it in my calendar wrong because I thought today was the last day for the testers. And I thought next week was the release, but next week is the last day for the testers. Next Friday.
Yes.
On the Friday after that is the release. Okay. You got 2 more weeks, people. And then you'll be making your tops just like this one.
Yeah.
Be so cute. Did you see somebody commented and said they wanted to surprise their wife by making one?
Yeah, I forget their name, but it's like a.share.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really sweet.
Hopefully their wife's not on here.
Well, if they are, then they made that comment on my TikTok, so
that's true.
They shouldn't have done that if they wanted it to be a surprise.
So true.
All right, girl. I'm feeling pretty tired.
Fun,
yeah, we should do it again. I'm sure we will.
Maybe on the 26th when we drop the pattern.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can go ahead and schedule it if you want. We can do it at the same time. If you want to.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Well, y'all heard it here.
I better put it on my calendar lest I forget or think it's a
2
week.
Fridays from now.
Think it's a week earlier than it is, and I'll be like texting you like, "Hey, where are you?" And you're like, "It's next week, dummy."
Yeah, I get aggressive back.
No, but my favorite joke that we have is pancake pie.
I don't even know where that came from. You just started saying that. I just went
I
with
don't know.
it.
It just popped into my head. It just popped into my head from that viral. Have you seen that viral lady that's like, I want the number for the pumpkin pie?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen it. You don't even know what it is.
That's why when you said that, I was like, okay. But I get it. I get the emotion behind pancake pie.
Now that we have said it and your phone heard me saying it,
Oh yeah.
it will come up.
Yeah.
Wow, my two sides are really look kind of uneven. This one's gonna have to get blocked.
Yes.
All right, my dear. I'll catch you soon.
Yes. See you soon.
See you on the
Happy
internet.
weekend.
Bye.